guys, this is a general reading, but before I get into the reading or who it's for, I'm just going to say some quick messages real quick. Please keep in mind that these are general readings, so some, none, or all of this may apply. Energy is fluid, so this could have already happened, it could be happening now, it could happen in the future, it may not happen at all. Some, none, or all of this may apply. I can read it as you. It could be someone else close to you. I can read this as love. It can be career. Just apply it to your life as necessary. Don't make it fit if it doesn't. Okay? Thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed to the channel. So please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. Also, for those of you who have inquired about donations and donated to the channel, it really means a lot to me, for not only the reciprocity of energy, if this video has helped you and all of that, but just, you know, the give take of energy and everything like that. Also, for information on services, so whether donation, services, all of that, my information, PayPal information, email information, all my service information, well, most of it, I'll be updating it soon. Hopefully it will have, I'm in the middle of putting together a website, so I'll actually be able to move it over to there. But all that information is there. So please read all of it, including the disclaimer. Don't just stop at my email address and then email me. It just saves me time. I'm always willing to help somebody out, but if it's there, it saves me time. So please read all of it. But if you still have questions, obviously email me and I'll help you out. So donations, services, all of that information is in the description box below. Any decks that I'm using, I will pin as the top. I'll put the links to the I'll put the links to the decks that you can get, so you know for sure which ones you're getting in the it'll be a pinned comment in the top comment section below. Also, it's also a way to contribute to my channel. It's doing something you were already going to do and it costs you nothing extra. So if you like the deck, you already wanted the deck, you'll know exactly which one you're getting, and it's another way to help contribute to the channel, just as a way of showing gratitude at no extra cost to you, of course. So yeah, please like, share, and comment, subscribe, because between donations, between services, between liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, buying even decks through the links that I provide if you're called to them, they're all ways that help me along my healing journey, that help me heal and learn tools to learn for myself how to heal. To also then learn how to give back to others, because a lot of people, they really need help right now, and it's something that I really am being called to do. I have my master in Reiki, and so I already do that as a service, but I'll be starting to teach that in probably January or February of next year. I have 3 of my 4 shamanic directions of shamanic training done. And if everything goes according to plan in 2020, I will be doing plant spirit medicine, all of which I can either do in person or through distant healing. So it really helps with that, and I greatly appreciate it. I think that's it. Thank you for everything. And so we'll get on to the reading now. Hey guys, this is a general reading for Aries for October 2019. So it'll be Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you have significant Aries in your chart, if you're just drawn to this video, or if you're like cross-watching for like another sign or another person. Also, for more of a complete picture, or if this doesn't resonate with you, then check out my other videos that I've either already made or will be making in the future of your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, significant placements in your chart, whatever you're drawn to, all of that good stuff. Please also remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell, which is right next to the subscribe thing. It'll pop up with the window. You can do, I would select all, but it's up to you. Just because I put out different types of videos, which I'll start putting out more of those again. And it also helps with the notifications. Sometimes YouTube's a little weird with sending out notifications, so it's more likely that you'll get the notifications for when I put out videos. So your energy, as I was laying down your guys' cards, was one of, on one hand, sort of sadness, heaviness, kind of more heaviness, sadness, mostly heaviness, but little stagnation too, but also a lot of umph and excitedness. And I don't know if that's like your Aries impulsiveness, like it's building and building, you're getting ready to want to go. And I just get this vibe too, just by your guys' normal readings and how they go, and then what's laid out here in the energy that I'm looking at and feeling, is a lot of you are really, really adamant about wanting this time going forward to come out of that cycle that you've been in and you've been stuck in. So I think you're really sitting here and like really thinking about it and really pondering about it. And I think you do, at least as of right now in these energies I'm seeing, you do a fairly good job of it, or you at least are doing better. So let's just get started with your reading. In the center of your reading, you have the Two of Swords and you have the Hermit. So that's where I was picking up the Virgo. Some of you might be dealing with a Virgo, like you don't know what to do with a Virgo, or you're at a stalemate with a Virgo or something like that. But I was wondering about it because I had these other cards that I may show over here later that is very similar, especially the last two that they had that Virgo got. And then there's Virgo here too, Virgo here. What was the other thing? Maybe I'll think of it, but there was something else Virgo had, or that was very significant of a reading that I did, the last reading I did for Virgo. But anyways, so some of you may be dealing with a Virgo, or there's just Virgo energy here, like maybe this happened during Virgo season, or you're just very much taking on this energy right now. But either way, you have the Two of Swords and you have the Hermit. So, like I said, some of you may be trying to decide what to do about a Virgo. You're at a stalemate with a Virgo, like you really can't decide. But I get, for as far as you guys and like your soul journey of it, you're also kind of just blocking yourself off and protecting yourself, like kind of guarding yourself right now, giving yourself a little bit of kind of space, like this says peace at the top, like a little bit of space to be able to deal with yourself, maybe even your emotions. And just go within. A lot of times I say with the Hermit, you know, he, during this time is when he goes and takes life experiences, and that's when he works on turning it into wisdom. So he really goes through what is helpful to him, like what should be kept and what should be released. And then now, after deciding what should be kept, that is then turned into action and wisdom. What a 9, 10 is 10. Like 10 is the Hangman, is that right? No, it's 12. 10 is the wheel. Yeah, so he can make a change. So the actions, and that creates a change. So I think you're trying to like get all outside energies away from you and deciding like what to do and going within, but how to apply things and figure things out this time around, um, in a way where you can take different action and you can come from a place of wisdom and actions that reflect that, basically. I'm going to go off your guys' energy real quick before I go on. When I asked what was your guys' energy, you have Hawk. And then I asked, what is the guiding energy, like spirit animal energy, and it's Firefly. So they're both very, you know, they're air cards. But when I really kind of meditated on it to see what the deal was, Hawk, is very much a bird where even if you look, like, it's flying and it's trying to see something. Hawk is very much known, well, so is eagle, but it's a predator type bird, but it's trying to see something. So on one hand, I get some of you, and I think this goes with your foundation card, might still be in that, a little bit of that anger or revenge thing. And then some of you may be also trying to see something and seeing the bigger picture and seeing outside of you. Maybe even thinking that this is going to help you figure things out and move forward in this way of like this Hermit card, you know, to see what you haven't been seeing and to turn things into wisdom. I like the approach of this. And this is good sometimes when, you know, kind of aiding in forgiveness and stuff like that. So it is good. But I think what's being missed here is that this is still outside of you. The guidance energy is Firefly. So it's kind of humble yourself, go within, like this Hermit energy, it's how it's a dark energy, like Hermit energy, it's never usually a sun-like energy, it's a dark energy, and so you do need to go within and kind of, even if you have to make yourself smaller, which might be kind of hard for Aries, I think it's more like male Aries, but still Aries, and kind of humble yourself. But what I get mostly from this is go within, in even if it has to humble you, even if you have to not focus on certain things, even if it makes you feel small. Because what you're going to find in there is like this Hermit, you know, normally you see the Hermit with the lantern outside of him, and this kind of shows it. It's like right here, it's outside of him. But what you're going to find is that the light is actually you. It's actually within you. So I think what it's mostly saying, kind of metaphorically or whatever, is, you know, stop trying to look outside of you for your answers or for your guidance or what you should do. And if you even look, like this eagle is like flying away from the darkness. It's flying away from where the answers would be, and it's trying to go elsewhere to find the answers. Where this Firefly is right up in the thick of it all. So don't do certain, don't do any actions or things of maybe escapism, just addictive type behaviors right now. Even if you think you're doing something good, like just go within you, basically, is what it's trying to say. Because all of your answers, all of your light, everything you need, you will find within you, and not trying to escape from you or to escape from how you feel or not thinking you're enough. Like it must not be in me, it must be out there, you know what I mean? Like, who am I don't have that, you know. There is also a lack thing, like a Five of Pentacles thing here going on, like a lack or, you know, a loss type. It's not within you, and that's, you need to figure out that it is, basically. Okay, so what's crossing you or influencing you? First, you had this card, which is the Prince of Cups, which would be the Knight. Right? Do I have any? Yeah. Yeah. So it'd be the Knight of Cups, but it was kind of like this. And upright, this is expressive, and reversed, it's manipulative for the Knight of Cups. So some of you might be dealing with somebody too who's very withdrawn and secluded, and they're maybe more of manipulative and kind of hard to, they're in love with love and hard to kind of keep locked down, and not locked down, but you know, like there and everything. But I'm gonna more go off you with this, like, and you can apply this as necessary or flip-flop it as necessary. Most things mirror. So even if this is somebody else, on some level, it usually applies to you as well. Because it's really matching up with what's in your foundation. So you could have somebody with a devil energy in your foundation or in your environment. That's what's going on here. Actually, I think you do. Because it's there's codependencies all over around on this. And I think you either are breaking out of it or you're really trying to, but you're kind of at this crossroads right now, it feels, where I feel like I've been here with you guys in your readings on this before, but where you can either like manipulate yourself again and somehow end up right back on that track. And I think that's why it's kind of like this, where it's kind of between like express and manipulate. You're kind of right in between on, you may go back in to manipulate yourself without realizing it and end up right back on the cycle or one very similar to it, or be able to actually express yourself in a healthy way and like fly and take action forward in sort of a healthier way, where it would be like an upright Knight of Cups and the Chariot, where everything's more in sync and moving forward. Everything's on the same page. Like if you look, these are sphinxes, and sphinxes is very much, especially in, you know, Egyptian, I don't know if you call it mythology or riddle or whatever, but it's known as like a riddle or something, like solving a riddle. Like it's the body of a beast and the head of a god, which is human at that time. They considered a lot of their humans, you know, as actual, like treat them as, some of them as actual godlike. So they had like the head of a god and the body of a beast, which was a lion. And it's like these two halves would be integrating the primal animalistic side, almost like what you would see in a strength card, mixed with the higher level of consciousness. It's exactly like a strength card, actually. It's very similar to that, where it's your higher consciousness, kind of like it's okay, you know, to your animalistic side or your ego side or whatever, and them all being integrated and moving forward. And it might even be something in your emotions that you're having to look at that's kind of affecting this. It could also be belief systems, but it could be in your emotions, and that's what you're kind of working through right now. Like when I was saying in the beginning about you're blocking things off to try to maybe, hopefully, be looking at or dealing with something within your emotions, something within. And you're kind of right at that like tipping point between, am I somehow going to make some move that shoots me on a similar path where I'm still on the cycle even if it can look like you're doing good things. It could be like the same energy but just something different, or you're staying put and making sure that you get this figured out, but not so much so that it blocks or stalls you. Some of you might even have to start actually taking action. I think you're being guided to start taking action. And I think the reason for that is, and I might pull cards on it to see, but I think you somewhat already know, or you know enough to start taking action on the things you kind of do know. But if you keep sitting around any longer and stay in like analysis paralysis, I think your energy is gonna build up again to where you start to make impulsive moves. And then that's where you end up on like the same track that you usually are. So don't be scared of making the, I don't want to say wrong move, but don't judge it like that. But if you see, like you'll the more you go through this, like you'll see the signs. So hopefully from whatever this last experience was, you know, the Hermit is to integrate the wisdom and leave the rest. So in order to move forward like this with the Chariot and the Prince of Cups upright, even if it's not fully upright, even if you're still in the process of figuring it out right now, you have thought about it enough to know what happened and what most of your lessons were. And now you have to put it into like real world knowledge. And part of the Hermit's journey is also when the Hermit comes out. So I feel like you've sat and reflected enough, and now it may be time to go out into the world again. I wouldn't shoot yourself right into the old things or go like balls to the wall on it, but start kind of putting yourself out there. And if you notice like you're redoing things, or you're triggering, or you're meeting people and red flags are coming up, it's time, it's moments for you to reflect and see, because it just helps you further learn and integrate those lessons. So don't get stuck on that. Okay? I think that's what it's trying to say, is I think you're ready to start moving forward again. Just watch yourself from a higher perspective as you do it. You know, that's one of the reasons why you were just on autopilot before, is because you weren't seeing and paying attention. So just see and pay attention now. And I would take more time to learn about yourself and try new things. And if it's about dating, like I may not go date right away, but if you do, just take it very slow and, pay attention. And, start learning about stuff of like codependency, maybe even narcissism. And if you have codependency, you usually are all mixed up in narcissism. So just saying. In your foundation of your reading, which I also consider a lot of times the subconscious, is you have the Devil. So, upright, it's desire, but you could also, and there's a lot of things on this, you guys also might not be really looking at love right now, a lot of you. You might just be trying to better yourself like financially and creatively, maybe even like life purpose wise or something. So you might be like focusing on your coins or something. I I do want to say this before I move on, though. Say you've had a cycle where, or, you know, this energy has showed up in your love life. Please be aware that these energies influence all facets of our life. So if it normally shows up in your love life and you have cut that off right now, like say you're not focusing on love right now, it's going to start to pop up in other things you do. Because the energy is there, it needs to find a way to be expressed. Maybe that's what this is too. This is the energy. I think this is the energy that's underneath it all. Is this Knight, it's Prince, but Knight of Cups energy. And it's kind of like this, where it's between expressive and manipulative. Something within your emotions is not quite matured or evolved to where it needs to be, to where it doesn't know how to healthily express itself, receive and express. So therefore, it tends to be more on the manipulative side. And I don't just mean by that like, oh, you're the manipulative one. Please understand that if you are in a manipulative, I mean, we all manipulate. It's just whether or not you do it to benefit or to hurt or hinder. I mean, I guess some people could still benefit themselves and hurt others, but it's all in the way that you manipulate, and it's, are you doing it consciously and not unconsciously? But anyways, if you are with somebody who is a manipulator, please know that you also manipulate. You have to know that. So don't take offense to that and be like, no, it's them, blah, blah, blah. Like, you still manipulate. There's no way that you can't, because there's no way you're not living in your truth in that type of situation. And by being the person who, you have to be in some ways staying quiet in order for that situation to work, or to kind of shift to who you may not really be to please that person. Like, you're usually a people pleaser, or just a go with the flow, you know, type of person, or whatever. There's many ways you can do that. That's manipulation. It's just you're more on the codependent side of manipulation than the what society would call possibly, you know, toxic, or like it's toxic too, but narcissistic side of manipulation. Whatever. You get my point. I'm not trying to throw labels on it all, but I'm trying to explain what I'm saying. So this energy here is underneath that still needs to be addressed. And again, this doesn't mean you sit and don't do anything. Just pay attention. And don't just pay attention in your love life. Or if you're not dealing with love right now, I don't have to pay attention, let me just go full force forward. No, you got to pay attention. Because that type of stuff feeds your brain. It drops chemicals. It has like receptors and things that fit together on it, and the more that you feed those and the more you have those thought processes, the bigger they get and the more you need them. So it's literally like drug addiction, literally. So you're not just gonna be able to like cut that off and your brain be like, okay, you know what I mean? It's kind of gonna like go away for a minute. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna think you're okay. And then you're gonna go out and it's gonna do those little things that trigger you, that start that whole little cycle going. And depending on how much you've learned this lesson, you'll either go back to what you did before, or you will do something different. Like, say if somebody is still dealing with love, they'll just date somebody else who has, you know, similar qualities. That is going to end in the same way, or have pretty much similar toxic things. It's just a different person, different face, same energy. Or they'll focus more on career or job, whether it's a project or actual like a career, like a 9-to-5 job or something. and they might express themselves in toxic ways, or they might be then attracted to people like bosses who have that energy. You know, I mean, or, you know, it can show up in other ways, such as just other self-sabotaging ways in your life. Anything that is out of balance. And a lot of people most people actually, that have issues with balance issues, overindulgence issues of any kind, have some type of emotional issue that they need to work on, whether they realize it or not. And it could be anywhere from minor to not really affecting your life that much, to your life is falling apart. I mean, everybody pretty much in this world has addictions. It's just, what is it? Is it socially acceptable? Is your life falling apart? You know, can you keep functioning? All that type of stuff. So just be aware of that is what I'm saying, and there's something emotional to it. So if you see yourself starting to get triggered or starting to think about things in a lot, or, you know, some people might be like, oh, I really like this a lot, you know, and that's just who they are. When they like something, they really like it, and then they like it to a point where they don't like it anymore, and then they're like bored and they want to go to something new. Like, that's overindulgence issues. There's balance issues there going on, especially between what you like, different things you like, between pain and comfortability, between resting and movement, between talking and not talking, between helping others and between self-care, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Balance. So please make sure that you stay somewhat balanced on that, and it will help you integrate these sides of you more. And the more that you can balance and kind of mature your emotional side, and I'm not saying you're not a mature person. There's a lot of people who are mature people in this world, and they have issues emotionally. I very much did. I still do. I'm still working through it. I especially do when it comes to like pain. You know what I mean? Like if it's anything like in my pain body, or like I have to go get a procedure or something. I mean, I just turned to a straight up child. So it's not saying anything bad. It just is what it is, you know, and you see it and you work through it. This is you are now conscious, paying attention and seeing points. So I'm going to go off of this now, but this is in your subconscious, just so you know. You are working on your money on it, but the energy is still there. It's not just going to go away, is what I'm saying. Like you're going to have to slowly work this out. It's hardwired in right now, and that goes through kind of starving it out when you see it popping up, just choosing something higher. Fasting, any type of fasting is great with that, whether it's diet fasting, social media fasting, water fasting, dopamine fasting, whatever. Spiritual fasting. There's all types of fasting. I was going to say something. What was it? Oh, and develop another pattern, another routine, because one of the greatest things that helps create change, and especially change of integrated patterns, is to create another routine or system that is so strong or so enforced or so much that you're into that it makes the old one obsolete. That's honestly one of the best ways that, and it's kind of like one of the things that I didn't realize what I was doing. It was just what I was being guided to do. And then now looking back, and then I saw some the other day that I was like, wow, that's exactly what I'm doing. And it matched up and I got it. I was like, okay, now I get why I was guided to do that. Where I'm literally building this other system, foundation, force, pattern, way of living, way of being, way of thinking, that in order for me to take action into that, I have to change the way I think. So because I'm going so much in that action and those things and that, you know, system and way of being, it is literally changing or starving off these old ways of being and these old ways of thinking because I have to keep going this way. So if you need help with this, if you don't understand, please hit me up. Like, I can help you with either like a session or a live tarot reading or any energy work or shamanic work or anything like that. So hit me up if you need help. Description box below is in the information. Again, as well as donation information for give and take of energies, or if this video has helped you. But either way, if you need help with that, let me know. In your past, you have the Lovers and you have the Magician. So, I mean, this is a lot of mercurial energy here. You have Gemini and you have Virgo. Well, this is Gemini and this is Gemini and Virgo. So either way, you have a lot of mercurial energy. Which we were not long ago in Virgo season. So like I said, I don't know if all this went down when we were in Virgo season, and that's why I was in the past, but either way, it was a type of, you know, very connected type of relationship. That you may have been trying to manifest. There could have been manipulation in the sense of the Magician. I mean, either way, something went down with it, because I don't get the vibe that it's still around. It's like, for one, you have what's in your environment is the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and that's like very, you know, for one, dependent, but Queen of Pentacles is an amazing card to have upright, but you really don't want to have her in reversed. You also have, which is weird because this came up and when I was cutting the deck and I put it back in, and then it popped out when I was doing the card. So I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. I think you're really trying to change how, like, what you go after and how you see things. Tell me about the Magician, please. Yeah, I mean, there might have been like secrets or like addictions. You have the Moon. Yeah. Yep. Like a manipulative person and relationship. Because this particular guy, I think he's supposed to be like, I don't know, just the main guy. He's a guy. It's Mars energy. But I don't really see him that well either. Like, he has a peacock thing up there, so it might be haughty. This, I don't even know if it's a ferret or what it is, but I always think of weasel. So, you know, when you have literally the Moon in the darkness, and then you have this, my energy with this is always not great, the weasel, and then you have the mice, you know, which is just all like anxiety and doing things they want to do and sneaking around and doing things. Like, it's just not. Also, another thing too is there might have been a lot of like obsessive or anxious type of communication, or just anxiety. I mean, mercurial energy is a very, especially if you don't know how to create a healthy outlet for it. And I know this very much because my moon and my rising is Gemini. And if I do not keep a certain routine or system or have certain creative outlets, I mean, it's one of the reasons I started this channel, was to have a creative outlet, because if not, that energy really got to me. So you got to have a healthy outlet for it, because it is very much, if not, it can either be a benefit or it can turn into anxiety, and anxiety is like the best way of saying it. What's crowning the reading is you have the Eight of Pentacles, and I think this is what you're thinking about. Like, You want to be able to plant, like he's planted and gotten the rewards of his planting in a very good and powerful way. It's good for him. It's healthy. He has a book. He's sitting there under the sun. He's earthing, you know, he, she, what is it? Who knows? But is earthing and is at peace, you know what I mean? It says careful, like they carefully planted. You're really wanting to carefully plant and move forward. You're just like, I really don't want to deal with any of that anymore. Because you're just like going back and forth about what decisions to make and juggling between the two, because you really want to go to like abundant Empress level energy and have that balanced type of energy. You don't want to be in this Five of Swords energy anymore. You want to put an end to that. It was very burdensome. A lot of responsibility to carry, and you want to turn the wheel. You want to start to protect yourself off from that energy and create that change within yourself. You even have that on the bottom of one of these other decks. Oh, just been in the Five of Swords energy. And then Nine of Wands, just trying to endure through it. But anyways, your thoughts are I think it's pretty simple. Like you just want to start to plant and move forward, going forward in a very healthy and good for you way. In your likely future, you have the Seven of Pentacles, and she's here. She started planting. It says investment, so you've started planting. I was about to say, is that Taurus? Because you can see the Taurus thing back here. And I don't know what the planet is. Yeah, it's Saturn. It's like, it's crazy. There's so many things I haven't normally seen in this card, but it's like I've never seen. So I guess so. It's in despair. You have figured out, or think you figured out, what way you want to invest now and plant the seeds. And, you know, you have the Taurus part, which is the investment. Seven of Pentacles is a very Taurus card. But you have Saturn sitting in the middle there, which means that you've learned some lesson. Maybe you've actually moved out of this karmic cycle, or you're trying to move out of some karmic cycle. And I don't know if you could see it, but there's a tree back here. Let's see if I can get it to focus. So if you could see, I'm going to hold it still after a second so you can see, but here's a tree that's dead, and there's an owl sitting right here. So anyways. And it's like that's the wisdom. It's like that's what's guiding you. You might still be in a little bit of like a shadow part, maybe a dark night of the soul, but a little bit more of a gloomy shadow part. And then with it also you have the Knight of Pentacles. It says pragmatic. So you are moving forward. You are a little hesitant. Like I always see with this, like most of these have mouths and this one doesn't. They don't all have mouths, but just something with the hat and all this, it just makes, she looks scared. And she's really guarding that pentacle, you know. Most Knight of Pentacles, well, some have them out, but some are holding them close. But she is like gripping this thing for dear life. Like she wants to create change with it, but it's like the last like seed that you have or something. You're just like really holding and guarding it, and you don't, like, it's like you feel like it's your last will to survive or something. And you It's almost like this is your last seed that you have. It's like, say if you watch a show. Show is I don't know. I watched something where it was like all the seeds to the earth were gone. They had been destroyed, but something in this mystical, magical something within the earth, like the gift that was inside of it that they thought was so much more, was 3 seeds. Which was lucky it was that, because all the rest have been ruined and they wouldn't have had any food. And when it was broken and they saw it was 3 seeds of food, and they were like, oh, thank God. You know, they wanted it to be so much more, but at that point, thank God it was seeds, because we're all going to starve. And I hope you get what I'm saying. But either way, it's like, it's almost like this vibe, like this is the last thing you have to like make yourself come off of, your last ditch effort, your last will, your last like seed to grow. Like you're just like, I'm gonna give it one more time, and I don't know if I have another one after this. And this is you in your darkness, like planting, like none of these are being planted. Like this is your one seed she's planting. And you're just putting all your hope into, I hope this is right. I hope I've learned my lesson. Like I hope this gives back to me. I just really get that. Like there's just a lot of hope. And I think there's so much hope too, which in a way that's beautiful, but in a way it really shows lack mentality. Like you're really thinking this is your last thing. And I mean, maybe to some degree, I mean, maybe that's your energy. I don't really know, but you're like, this is it. Like make it or break it, live or die, you know, type thing. I don't know, but I don't know if it's your last, to where maybe you cross over to manipulative side. Like this is your last effort to be like nice about it, and after this you're just gonna be like on a rampage and screw everybody else, or if this is just literally how much energy you have. I don't really know. Can you tell me anything? Why is this the last effort? I think it's energy too, like the tree that comes up. You know, it's just really about like life and vitality. I think whatever happened recently just really ran through you. And you just don't feel like you have a lot to offer right now, especially energy-wise. So you're really trying to preserve how you move forward, because I think you think you can't take like another knockback, or can I come back from another, you know, knockback or whatever it's called, setback. 3 cards that just wanted to come up for you were the 7 of Cups. Like here's where you're just kind of gloomy, thinking about everything, confused, was lost. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you have 1 here. So you might be thinking about something of the 6 of Cups. You still have 1 that's a viable option for you, but this might be you thinking about something either nostalgic-wise, children-wise, soulmate-wise, past-wise, past relationship-wise, whatever. Nostalgia. And then you have 5 of Pentacles. Your life is just going on around this lady, and she's just stuck in like 5 of Pentacles, kind of like poor me, lack thing. And then you have the King of Wands. And I think this is supposed to be you, like you taking action. Tell me about the King of Wands. It could be about a King of Wands. It could be possibly an Aries. Aries, Leo, Sag. I mean, you have the book, like Secrets coming up. It does have a ram up here. However, I think that is the Pisces sign, though. Which would make sense, too, if it was last month, because I think last month was the Pisces full moon. So maybe this did happen last month. I don't know. That doesn't really matter. But I don't know if this King of Wands was who you were. Oh, yeah. I think that's right, because the last Aries reading, it was a King of Wands. Yeah, and it ended. You have the Book of Secrets and the tree reversed. Yeah. And the burden, the whips, arguments. So somebody or some interaction with this really puts you in a really bad environment. And it was... maybe on the image you made it look like great happiness, but it was like a prison. But either way, we'll move on for that. So I'm guessing, I do think you should take action though and embrace this energy yourself. But as of right here, I don't think this is you. How you see yourself is the Four of Cups. So you're like, you're not wanting to deal with love or emotions, I don't think. You're withdrawing. You're keeping to yourself, entertaining yourself, like you're just doing yourself. What's in your environment is you have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. And this is dependent. So, I mean, this is, again, what's in the foundation of your reading in your subconscious. You carry this energy too, as well as this person does. But, your finances could have been affected. But I think it's more somebody who is very image oriented, very haughty. They might have just been more like an obstacle, or like really ended up being a foe. Like you thought they were going to be good for you, but ended up being an enemy. Just manipulative, like basically. I'm not going to go more into that. How they see you is the Prince of Wands. So Knight of Wands, Envisioner. So, I mean, they see you as somewhat taking action. And there's your Lion, too. So maybe they see that you're, like, stomaching some type of strength. But I don't know if they see you as going after what you want. Like, you're breaking free. Tell me about the Prince of Wands. Yeah, like you're breaking free from whatever you were in with them. Whatever that illusion was, false person, enemy. Maybe some might involve court systems. But you're breaking free and you're taking action, I think, in a different direction. You found your strength, you're sticking up for yourself, and you're going to find the honey somewhere else in your life. Because the nectar is not in this situation anymore. In your hopes, you have Judgment reversed, which this says regress, but I more get Judgment reversed. Like, you do not want to come back together with this situation. I'm hoping it's not that you don't want to see. Tell me about Judgment reversed. Yeah. In the coffin. Like, you want to put an end to this situation. It has caused you enough suffering. You do not want to return back to it. At least right now you don't. But you don't. In your hopes, you have the Three of Cups. Abundance. I'm sorry. The hopes were Judgment reversed. That you did not want it to come back around. Your fears are the Three of Cups. Like, you fear... like coming back together. You don't want to come back together. Yeah, that's funny. So I pulled it. It's like the same thing. So I pulled clarifier for the Judgment reversed. The coffin came up. I pulled clarifier for the Three of Cups. Coffin came up. You do not want to have another cycle of that. You want to lay it to rest. And you are working very adamantly to do that. And to clean up your relationship cycle. Please remember, I know I've already said it, this energy and this energy goes far beyond just relationships. It's just where you've chosen to express it, okay? Just please remember that. In your likely outcome, you have Eight of Wands, Shift, I guess, again, a Mercury energy. I don't know why it says Sag. But 4 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. 4 of Wands, 3 of Wands is the purpose one. 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. I more look at it like I think you've planted wisely. I hope you have. And I think you found, kind of like I said, where you build up a new way, a new structure, a new foundation. And I think you've built a new foundation. And it's one based around something that you really wanted. But it could even involve, for some of you, like your purpose or something that just feels really good and happy to you. You might be building on it. Like, here's the castle. I mean, this is the 3 of Wands and 4 of Wands. So it makes sense. Like, here's his purpose, right? I guess maybe it'll be like this, 3 and 4. It doesn't matter. But here's him thinking he's found his purpose and he knows what foundation he wants to build. And he's put it together and is waiting on this to come. And if you look, it's a castle. Well, now in the 4 of Wands, he's in the castle shining bright. So something about it, you've, found which way you want to go, what you want to do, what you want to create, what you want to put together. And I think due to that, you are able to and are working really hard, and it's starting to transform this 5 of Pentacles, like lost energy, because of what you're truly now building. And it's something that's good for you. It's something that's beneficial. It's something that's going to pay off and feed your confidence, and it's going to be of you and for you. It's within you. It's from within you, not outside of you. So it helps with this going away. And you realize that this was always an illusion. It wasn't really part of you anyways. It was that you were always looking outside of you and not within you. And if you're always looking outside of you, you're going to be dependent and codependent and not know that it's within you. So whenever you look outside of you, you feel that way. And this is where this comes along. So this is starting to be seen from a different perspective, and now you're starting to come more into your power. Like, look at this force that's around him, and he's like rising and doing his thing. Courage. Now be careful, all these people, these aren't just wands. Like, these are all hands trying to pull him back in the fire. So again, stay cognizant of what and who is around you and what you're allowing around you. Like, don't go around things that have a lack mentality. Don't do things that have a lack mentality. Like, watch what your actions are. Watch who you're around. Watch what you talk about. Watch what you think about. Watch what things you watch and that you put your energy into. Because I think you're literally starting to do, like I said, which is maybe why I said that earlier, you're starting to build that foundation. And it's that foundation which pulls you out of this way of being. Like, I know this is seen as a good card as well, but your old ways of being in lack and having to defend yourself. And you're developing a new system to where, it's just all empowerment. Maybe even like soul family or true friends. I don't know. I think also it means you could go either way with both of them being there. So just remember that based on your actions, you don't have to feel that 5 of Pentacles energy, because you can have that which you want and that which you desire. But the only way that you will know that is if you stop looking outside of you for the answer or for something to complete you. Like this hawk is looking for its prey, its next thing to like bring into itself. And you go into this and realize it's in you, but you're going to have the courage to kind of go within and sacrifice. You may want to watch like my last Taurus reading on that. Like, maybe even sacrifice some of your happiness for a minute, like for you. Because I was telling this other person I was doing a reading with, and I was like, I actually want to do a video on it because I think it was a great thing that I channeled, but it kind of comes to a point where it's you or it's them. Whatever it is, whether it's a person, a thing, whatever, it's you or it's them. And you should always choose what's best for you. Hopefully it includes them, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. And realizing that if you are ever in a position where you have to choose you or them, most of the time it's one that's not really good for you. That's not always the case, but a lot of the times it is. And a lot of times when you choose them, you have to go to sleep. Like, it's kind of that choice of, do I choose to stay awake and be in power and in control of myself, which comes with responsibility and sacrifice. And sometimes even a lack of happiness because you're more awake, like you see things. That's kind of where the saying of ignorance is bliss comes from, which is not true, but it's that way in first glance. It's the decision between staying awake and going to sleep. Or whether, like, with this person or situation, like, yeah, it made you feel good for a little while, but it's because it put you to sleep. It's like you were under anesthesia. Or like they gave you like really strong pain medicine that put you out of it. Like, you didn't feel the pain because of the illusion of the anesthesia or of the medicine. Either way, it's a drug. You're asking a drug to be a band-aid over this Five of Pentacles energy, this Knight of Cups reverse energy, this Devil energy. You're asking for an illusion. If you're asking for this over you, you are legit saying to yourself, to the higher aboves, to the world, I choose for you to take my power. And I mean, like, what Aries wants to say that? But I choose for you to take my power. I choose to go back to sleep. And I choose to not feel or embrace who I really am. Because in order to do that knowingly, that is what you're saying. And why we're at so discomfort and there was so much cognitive dissonance was because that is what you were saying. You just weren't aware that's what you were saying before. But now you know. Now you have the responsibility of knowing. And yeah, you can do it again, I guess. But it's going to be really hard and it's going to be really painful. Like, sometimes when you wake up, there's a level that you can't go back. And most of the time you shouldn't want to go back. But if you try, somewhat you can. But there's some part of you now that's awake that won't go back to sleep, and it's actually going to create a stronger cognitive dissonance, and now you're going to have like crazy amounts of like anxiety and restlessness and like mental disease and all that stuff. So you might as well just like buckle down, enjoy the ride, sacrifice, enjoy your moments of bliss, do the hard work, take on the responsibility, and just get going. You know, you might as well. It would benefit you to watch my last Taurus reading. By the way, it talks a lot about this, and there's a lot of concepts in it that I think will help you. So I guess I may pull a shaman card, or I may cut it off here, but I'm going to pull one of these cards. I haven't pulled one in a while. We'll see about the guide one. I may just leave it here. I think this is where... King of Cups really has a strong energy. It's just popping up a lot all over the place. Not King of Cups, King of Wands, I mean. I think I need to bring more. Oh, I did get this too, like the Despondence card, and this is all about taking action. And it pretty much, and that's funny too, because I was saying earlier about how you feel like you don't have a lot of energy. Like, it wiped your energy out and you're like, this is all the energy I have. I hope it works. It says Iris is depressed and unable to look after herself or her home. She cries out to the great spirits for help. Mother Earth appears and suggests Iris shower, eat a good meal, and clean up her house. She does, but still feels despondent. Suddenly a hurricane hits and Iris springs into action to rescue her neighbor's children. In the urgency, Iris finds the way out of depression by taking action. Iris teaches us that the only route out of stagnation is motion. If we do nothing, we must accept the consequences. In which part of my life am I feeling immobilized? I know what I need to do. Am I willing to trust myself? Feeling helpless, acceptance of circumstances, change on the horizon, taking action. So that's funny. That kind of really fits. And again, here's the freaking King of Wands on the bottom. That's crazy. Let's pull him out and see what it says about that. All right, can I get just one card? Wrap this up. Aries, October 2019. So let me look at the King of Spirals real quick. See what he's about. The Companion. So it's really also, you know, it's a good companion also for divine feminine archetype, but it's really about dreams and active imagination. Not being too serious or impatient. Omen, synchronicity, and inspiration walks by his side, so stay alert. Yeah, cognizant. The healing energy is humor and laughter. All right, Four of Spirals. So I have no idea if this is going to match up. I haven't read it. Let's see. This is cool. I don't know if I've ever... It's a Four of Wands. Which is funny because in your likely foundation, you have the Four of Wands up here too, and you building your foundation. Even if it's in the dark. This is a cool looking house though. I'd live in a house like that. We call this the Harvest Home, and it has become iconic with Chrysalis. The Harvest Home... Oh, hold on. This tableau, I don't know, is iconic for other reasons as well. Compass making room for the new energies and fresh ideas. There's a broom near the front stoop that's perfect for sweeping out old ideas. When paradigms shift and worldviews change, the adjustments bring about the difficult process of clearing. Clearing energy is one of the subtle energies of the Four of Spirals symbolizes in a reading. It is the same renewing energy encountered at an organized spiritual retreat that encourages self-emptying. We call this multi-layered clearing energy regathering. Small, like-minded groups and tribes from all over the planet are regathering to celebrate the passion for truth and change. And that's what I was saying. You guys, through this, might find your soul group, because it looked like they might have been at the top of your thing, helping you build your Four of Wands. Another layer of regathering energy is the energy of communication, a Latin word that describes an unstructured community built upon shared liminal or mystical experiences. The subtle energies of ancestors and fairies represent yet another regathering layer. We believe ancestors and fairies find the harvest home serenity and openness to be very welcoming. The most delicate and unassuming energy found in the universe, that of the divine feminine, is symbolized by the Four of Spirals. Crescent moon, is symbolized by the Four of Spirals crescent moon. So here's the crescent moon. The moon bathes the harvest home with the light of the divine feminine who makes all things new. The first crescent in a new moon blooms with the fresh scent of a new tomorrow. The challenges posed by most anything new are lessened by the clearing energies of regathering symbolized by the Four of Spirals. The challenges posed by most anything new are lessened by the clearing energies of regathering symbolized by the Four of Spirals. In readings, the harvest home asks you to sweep out antiquated ideas and beliefs that no longer serve you well to make room for those that will. So that's cool though. I think it's a cool looking card. So I think you're regathering and coming back together, and it seems in a way that is a stronger foundation and happy for you, and you might meet new friends or new soul people along the way. But I'm excited for you guys. I do feel the fear and the loss and the sadness, but I can also feel that level of push and excitement. And really, I need to start practicing on my own time and seeing if I can tap into zodiac energies. So if I need to do, like I always say that, where I'm like, when people evolve, they should evolve to their opposite sign first, and then, you know, to the other ones in the zodiac. But I need to practice with that and see if I can actually tap into the zodiac signs energies to utilize those energies when I need to, like Virgo energy. At first, Virgo energy always makes me so anxious and so just like critical and riddled with like anxiety and just wound in a tight ball. And then about 2/3 of the way through it, I start to work through it and I start to like do things and get a lot of things done. And then as soon as I learn how to productively use the energy, it's over. And I always say that sucks. Every time like Virgo comes around, like I say the same thing. I'm like, damn, you know, I really need to learn how to utilize this faster. And then it's the same with like this. Like you guys, there's a very fiery energy that I'm feeling from you guys that, I don't know, it'd be nice to be able to utilize sometimes. So I might actually play around with that and see if I can. Do you have any messages for Aries for October 2019? Messages, guidance, encouragement. Shift your energy. Yeah. Be true to your heart. When it gets 1 to also of your self-preservation, you have 19, which goes to 10 to 1. So it's very much an independent, I mean, it's Aries number, like 1. You know what I mean? It's like very independent of your identity, like self-focused. And I'm not talking about in a conceited or selfish way, but in a self-love way. So make sure you shift your energy onto that. Again, like I said, instead of outside of you, within you. But balance. Remember, balance, Aries. Don't become all about yourself. You gotta balance. But for the ones who apparently need this message, theirs usually goes outward. And they're probably chasers. So don't chase. Don't look desperate. Oh, Jesus. So go with the ebb and flow of things. But I don't know if it's already happened or if it will be happening. Like maybe if from focusing on yourself, like remember how I was saying where it's like those things in your brain, like while you're developing new neural pathways from your old, your brain's not really dropping any chemicals. So there's kind of boring periods in between. So just keeping a mind out for that. But when I was saying like your mind needs certain things and it gets stronger and stronger and you're literally trying to starve out that desire and build new ones and all of that, there may be a lot of stuff that comes up, whether it's anger, rage, emotions, sadness, whatever. This is happening to shift your energy. You are working right now on shifting your energy, but this is going to kind of come and help you out and give you a little push within yourself. Don't be scared of these things. It's this and you learning to integrate it and work with it and love it and own it. Even if it's like the sadness within, the monster within, the pain within, like all things that help us grow. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, Scorpios normally get the most, like, you know, they're known for it, but we all do it. Where they go, you know, it's a painful process, the whole transformation, the rebirth, the phoenix phase. It's a painful process. But the rewards from not running from the pain, but walking through the pain, the fire. And I don't mean going towards bad situations and just being like, I'm having courage, I'm walking through the fire. That's not what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Like, when it comes up in you, don't run from it. Sit with it, love it, talk to it, journal write with it. But look at it. Do not judge it. It is not to be judged because it's to be loved. Some of it is part of you that you are judging, and it is actually gifts and abilities of yours that you could do stuff with. Or it's misprocessings from when you were a child that need to be healed, or any part of your life that need to be healed. Either way, it could be a multitude of things, but they are gifts, they are blessings, they are you. So as you're shifting your energy and you are doing new things while building this, all this new stuff and all this blah, 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 this new way of being, you might have some stuff that comes up and it might be uncomfortable and painful. And you might even feel like you can't handle it or you want to give up, especially since, you know, in your likely future, you're sitting there with the, was it the Knight of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles? The Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Discs, where I was like, you look like you're like on your last, like, I don't know why that's funny. You look like you're on your last leg standing and you're just like, I can't take anymore. Like you feel like you just don't have the energy. And this may apply to me too. In Vedic astrology, I'm an Aries. So I don't know. And I'm kind of towards the cusp. I'm not quite a cusper, but I'm kind of towards the cusp of Aries, of a Taurus. But you will make it through this, okay? Actually, I know why I'm laughing. Didn't we just read the thing? Like, that's why this King of Spirals also keep coming up, where it said through the hard times and stuff like that, that laughter and fun is the best medicine. So make sure you don't take this time too seriously. Work with it, love it, do all that other stuff, but remember to still have play and look at it in not a judgmental or a super dark or scary way. Like, just do it. You know what I mean? If you need help with it, let me know. I might be working through it with you, like my own. But it's going to come up. Don't judge it. It's going to be for your betterment. It needs to come up. It's going to help you get out of this cycle. It's going to help you transform your life. And then what unfolds is lotus flower unfoldment. And guess what unfolds? Guess what blooms? Guess what comes to be? You. You. Sitting right here in your Four of Wands with your soul tribe. You. That's beautiful. The true you. The genuine you. the part of you that comes forth so that you don't really feel that five of Pentacles energy anymore. So you'll be shifting your energy. You're already working on it. Things probably will come up, and they're probably gonna be kind of scary and volatile, but it's for your betterment and for your true unfoldment, and you are going to be opening up in a beautiful spiritual way of your genuine self, like a lotus flower. Let's see what it says. And then we're done. Your spiritual unfoldment is occurring at times, whether or not you're aware of it. It is inevitable as long as you put your trust in the hands of the Creator, the one who holds the light. Like the lotus, your soul is always reaching for the light to fulfill its karmic destiny. But even in that process, there are periods of darkness and times to rest. It is a natural cycle, one that It is a natural cycle, one that cannot be coerced or halted. It has an innate rhythm of its own, one that is unique to the being that is you. You do not need to strive or be driven by spiritual ambition. It does no good to try to force growth upon yourself or others for that matter. Allowing is the key here. Allow the place in you that naturally wants to follow the light to do so, while recognizing that even when you have complete faith, you will face challenges and occasionally suffering. Your steady faith and love will guide you on your journey of returning to the light. So, it's for your spiritual, evolvement, and it's for your best interest, your genuine self to come through. So I love you guys. I hope this helps you rock on what you guys are doing. This is probably one of the better. I hope it's okay. I still love you guys if the next one were like back at the other cycle, but I hope you guys really follow through with this plan, because it's really going to help you. But just know that it's you or them. It's you or them. It's you staying awake or going to sleep. It's you choosing illusions over temporary pain to gain enlightenment or evolution or growth. It is a sacrifice. It's a journey of sacrifice. But you end up getting more than what you wanted usually in that type of journey. Like things that you didn't even know you would want or that were available to you. So I love you guys. Keep your head up. Let me know if you need any help on this. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Again, information for services in the description box below. I'll be adding shamanic services onto that soon, for donations of give and take, receiving of energy, to share energy, or if this has helped you a lot, PayPal information's below, email information's below, all the information's below. So I love you guys. I'll be seeing and talking to you soon.